Hi, I'm Ariel. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. One click from you means more stories can be shared. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers and make a difference. Let's begin. The bitter cold of that January night is something I still feel in my bones sometimes. I was 19, a sophomore in college, standing in our driveway with nothing but a backpack and the clothes on my back. Snowflakes caught in my eyelashes as I watched my father's silhouette through the frosted glass of our front door, his words still ringing in my ears. "Why are you leaving me alone with them?" my little brother Jacob whispered through a phone call the next morning. "I didn't leave you, Jake. They threw me out," I said, huddled in my friend Diane's apartment. "Dad said I'm ungrateful, that I don't deserve to be part of their family anymore. But all you did was say you wanted to switch your major. How is that worth kicking you out?" Jacob's voice cracked. "It wasn't just about the major. It was about control. Mom and Dad have always needed to control everything. When I said I wanted to study business instead of medicine, it was the final straw." "What are you going to do now? Where will you live?" Jacob asked. "I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. I always do." "Can I come see you?" "Not right now, Jake. They'd never allow it, and I don't want you caught in the middle. I'll call you when I can." Those first few months were the hardest. I slept on Diane's couch while working 2 jobs and continuing my classes. "You look exhausted," Diane said one evening as I stumbled in after a double shift. "I am, but I'm making it work." "Your parents haven't reached out at all?" "No, and I'm not expecting them to." I collapsed onto the sofa. Dad made it very clear when he said, "Don't ever come back here." Mom just stood there and watched me leave. "That's cold, even for them," Diane said, handing me a cup of tea. "You know what's funny? They always talked about how family comes first, how nothing is more important than loyalty to your family." "Except when you don't do exactly what they want," Diane scoffed. "Exactly. The irony is, I was trying to be honest with them. I thought they deserved to know I was miserable in pre-med." "How's your brother doing?" "He's okay, I think. We talk when our parents aren't around. He's scared to stand up to them after what happened to me." 6 months after being thrown out, I found a tiny studio apartment I could afford. It wasn't much, but it was mine. No one could throw me out. No one could tell me what to do. "This place has potential," Michael said, my classmate who'd become a close friend. He helped me move in, carrying boxes up 3 flights of stairs. "It's small, but it's a start," I replied, setting down a lamp. "You've come a long way in 6 months, Ariel. You should be proud of yourself." "I'm just doing what I have to do." "No, you're doing more than that. Most people would have given up by now." I shrugged. Giving up wasn't an option. My parents thought I'd come crawling back, begging for forgiveness. And instead? Instead, I'm proving them wrong every single day I survive without them. Michael sat on my newly acquired secondhand sofa. "Have you thought about reaching out to them? Maybe now that some time has passed?" "No," I said firmly. They made their choice. They chose their idea of who I should be over who I actually am. They don't get to be part of my life anymore. "Fair enough. I just don't want you to have regrets later." The only thing I regret is not standing up to them sooner. 2 years passed. I graduated with honors with my business degree. Michael and I started dating. I landed an entry-level position at a marketing firm where I'd interned. Things were looking up. "Ariel, your brother's online too," my assistant said one Tuesday morning. "Jake, is everything okay?" I asked when I picked up. "Not really. Mom and Dad lost the house." "What? How?" "Dad's medical practice has been struggling for years. He kept taking out loans to keep it afloat, using the house as collateral. He finally had to declare bankruptcy. I had no idea things were that bad. No one did. He kept it all secret, even from Mom. They're staying with Aunt Carol right now, but you know how small her place is." "Why are you telling me this, Jake?" "I thought you'd want to know. Would they have told me if the situation was reversed? If I was the one who lost everything?" A long pause. "Probably not." "Exactly. It's not my problem, Jake. They're still our parents, Ariel." They stopped being my parents the night they threw me out in the snow. The conversation with Jacob haunted me for days. I told myself I didn't care, that they deserved whatever happened to them. But late at night, when the apartment was quiet, I remembered being a little girl, when my dad would read me stories and my mom would braid my hair. Before the control, before the expectations, before everything fell apart. "You're distracted," Michael said over dinner that weekend. "What's going on?" "My parents lost their house. They're basically homeless." "How do you feel about that?" "I don't know. Part of me thinks it's karma. Part of me feels guilty for even thinking that." "You don't owe them anything, Ariel." "I know, but they're still the people who raised me, for better or worse." "Have you talked to your brother again?" "No. I'm afraid he'll ask me to help them, and I don't know what I'd say." 3 years after being thrown out, I was promoted to senior marketing strategist. Michael proposed. We found a beautiful 3-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood. Life was good. Then came the knock at the door. It was a Sunday evening. Michael was out with friends. I was curled up on the sofa with a book when I heard it. 3 sharp raps. I opened the door and felt the world tilt beneath my feet. My parents stood in the hallway, looking smaller somehow. Older. My father's proud posture was gone, replaced by a slight stoop. My mother's carefully maintained appearance had slipped. Her hair was dull, her clothes worn. "Ariel," my father said, his voice lacking the authority I remembered. "What are you doing here?" I asked, gripping the doorframe. "Can we come in?" my mother asked. "Please?" I stepped aside, more from shock than agreement. They entered cautiously, like strangers in a museum, afraid to touch anything. "How did you find me?" "Jacob gave us your address," my father admitted. "Of course he did." I crossed my arms. "Why are you here?" They exchanged glances. My mother spoke first. "We've been going through a difficult time, Ariel. Your father's practice failed. We lost the house. We've been staying with Carol, but her husband wants us out." "And?" I prompted, though I already knew what was coming. "We need help," my father said, the words clearly painful for him. "Just until we get back on our feet." "You need money?" "Not just money. We need a place to stay." I laughed. I couldn't help it. The irony was too much. "You want to stay with me? After what you did?" "We know we made mistakes," my mother said quickly. "Mistakes? You threw me out in the middle of winter with nowhere to go. You told me never to come back. And now you expect me to welcome you with open arms?" "We were angry," my father said. "You were throwing away everything we'd planned for you." "No, I was choosing my own path. There's a difference." "Whatever you want to call it, we overreacted," he continued. "But we're still your parents." "You stopped being my parents the moment you decided your control was more important than my well-being." My mother started to cry. Once, those tears would have devastated me. Now they barely registered. "Please, Ariel," she pleaded. "We have nowhere else to go." "That sounds familiar." I leaned against the wall. "I was in the exact same position once. Do you remember what you did then?" Silence filled the room. Neither of them could meet my eyes. I remember standing in the driveway, watching Dad lock the door. I remember Mom turning away from the window. I remember the snow soaking through my shoes as I walked to the bus stop. I remember all of it. "We're sorry," my father said. "Truly sorry. Sorry doesn't erase what happened. Sorry doesn't make up for the 3 years of silence. Did you ever try to find me? Did you ever wonder if I was okay?" "We thought you'd come back," my mother whispered. "That's the difference between us. You thought I couldn't survive without you. I knew I could. And I did." My father's face hardened. "So this is revenge? You're enjoying seeing us suffer?" "This isn't revenge. This is consequence. You're experiencing the natural result of your choices, just like I did." "We made one mistake," my father shouted. "No, you made a lifetime of mistakes. You tried to control me, manipulate me, force me to be someone I'm not. When that failed, you abandoned me. That's not one mistake. That's a pattern." So you're going to turn us away? Your own parents? My mother's voice rose. I'm going to do exactly what you taught me to do. Cut off anyone who doesn't conform to my expectations. The door opened behind them. Michael walked in, freezing when he saw the scene before him. Everything okay? He asked, moving to stand beside me. Michael, these are my parents. They were just leaving. Ariel, please, my mother begged. We have nowhere to go. That's not my problem. You made your choice years ago. Now you have to live with it. My father's face darkened. After everything we did for you? All the sacrifices we made? You mean the sacrifices you expected me to make for your vision of my life? Those sacrifices? I can't believe how selfish you've become, my mother said. Michael stepped forward. I think you both need to leave. Stay out of this, my father snapped. This is family business. Michael is my family, I said. You two are just people I used to know. You don't mean that, my mother said. I do. Family doesn't throw you away when you don't meet their expectations. Family supports you, loves you for who you are. You never did that. We gave you everything, my father shouted, except the freedom to be myself. The room fell silent. My parents looked at each other, then back at me. So that's it? My father asked. After everything, you're going to turn your back on us when we need you most? I learned from the best. My mother reached for me. Ariel, please. We made a terrible mistake. We see that now. I stepped back. The difference is, I'm not making a mistake. I'm making a choice. A choice to protect myself from people who hurt me. People who would do it again if given the chance. That's not true, my father said. Isn't it? You're only here because you need something from me. If you were still successful, if you still had your house and your practice, would you be standing here apologizing? Would you have ever reached out to me? Their silence was answer enough. That's what I thought. I want you to leave now. Where are we supposed to go? My mother asked. That's not my concern. Just like my well-being wasn't your concern 3 years ago. I opened the door. Michael stood beside me, his presence a comfort and strength. Goodbye, I said. This isn't over, my father warned as he stepped into the hallway. It was over the night you told me not to come back. I closed the door and leaned against it, tears finally coming. Are you okay? Michael asked, wrapping his arms around me. No, but I will be. Do you think they'll try again? Probably, but it won't change anything. You did the right thing, Ariel. They don't deserve your help after what they did. I know. It's just hard to see them like that and feel nothing. You don't feel nothing. That's why you're crying. I wiped my eyes. I'm crying for what should have been. For the parents I should have had, not for them. The next day, Jacob called. They told me what happened, he said. Are you mad at me? No, I get it. After what they did to you, you don't owe them anything. What about you? Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm staying with Carol too, but I'm looking for my own place. I've been saving up. That's good, Jake. For what it's worth, I think they really are sorry. But I also think you're right not to trust that. Thanks for understanding. You were always the strong one, Ariel. You stood up to them when I never could. You can still stand up to them, Jake. It's not too late. A week later, I received a letter. My mother's handwriting on the envelope. Inside was a check, the last of their savings, and a note asking me to reconsider. I tore up both and sent them back. 2 months passed. Michael and I set a wedding date. I received another promotion. Life moved forward. Then came another knock. This time it was just my mother, alone and looking defeated. Dad had a minor heart attack, she said when I opened the door. He's okay, but he can't work anymore. We're staying at a motel, but our money's almost gone. I'm sorry to hear that. I truly am. But my answer hasn't changed. I'm not asking for me anymore, Ariel. I'm asking for your father. The father who threw me out? The father who never once reached out until he needed something? That father? He was wrong. We both were. We've lost everything, our home, our status, our dignity. Isn't that punishment enough? That's not punishment, that's life. Sometimes things don't go the way we plan. Sometimes we have to adapt, to change course. You taught me that lesson the hard way. Now you're learning it too. So you're enjoying this. No, I don't enjoy seeing anyone suffer. But I've learned to protect myself from people who hurt me, even if those people are my parents. What if we truly have changed? Then I wish you the best, but from a distance. My mother nodded slowly. I understand. I don't like it, but I understand. As she turned to leave, she stopped. You've done well for yourself, Ariel. Your father would never admit it, but you've accomplished more on your own than you ever would have following our plan. I'm proud of you. For a moment, I felt a flicker of the little girl who'd longed for those words. But it was too late. Goodbye, Mom. I closed the door, feeling lighter somehow. The weight of their expectations, their disappointment, their approval, all of it lifted from my shoulders. That night, Michael found me looking at old family photos. Second thoughts? He asked. No, just making peace with the past. What do you think they'll do now? I shrugged. Dad will probably swallow his pride and accept help from his brother in Ohio. They never got along, but desperate times and all that. And you're okay with that? Them moving so far away? They've been far away for years, Michael. Distance isn't measured in miles. As I put the photos away, I realized something. The night they threw me out was the night I truly began to live. Their rejection forced me to become the person I was meant to be, not the person they wanted me to be. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most also set us free. So what would you do if the people who once abandoned you came back asking for help? Would you turn them away, or would you offer the forgiveness they never gave you?